schools will have to deal with it. Interestingly enough, a lot of that has to do with the pandemic. There's still, the computer chip shortage has had an impact on shot clocks of all things.
And obviously, it's a little bit of an expense for all the districts. I mean, each shot clock, I think, is $1,500. You got 2 of them. That's $3,000 per school across the entire state. And a lot of people said that was a little bit of the holdup, but we're super excited to have them. We'll see how much it's a factor. But look, I mean, I don't think it's going to, once we get going with the season, once you get a game or 2 in, I don't think it's going to be that big of a headline until you're in late game situations.
Right. I think you just said it. Early on, I mean, the way the game's played now, the Steph Curry influence, these kids get up so many shots so quick. I don't think it's really going to be that big of a factor. But late game, it's going to be one of those things that when you have to squeeze that extra energy out of those possessions, it's going to be a factor.
No question about it. Appreciate Finley Subaru. They just received the 2022 Subaru Love Promise Customer and Community Commitment Award, so congratulations. And go check out the all-star lineup on the saving side of the freeway at Finley Subaru. All right, we're going to get into the starting lineups in just a second here, but I'm just excited for the start of the season. Football, it just breezes by before you know it. State championship's over, and here we go. A lot of teams in region just playing their first game today. Dixie has their opener. Snow Canyon has 1 game under their belt. They're playing game 2 tonight. Desert Hills played their opener tonight. Hurricanes already played 2 games, so has Cedar. But everybody, there was only a couple teams that even got games in pre-Thanksgiving. So going to be fun to see how this one plays out. They're going to lower the light down. We're going to have the junior ROTC bring out the color guard. So we are going to take just a quick timeout for our national anthem to honor our great country. And then we're going to come back with the House of Jump starting lineups and the tip-off tonight. It's the Payson Lions and the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs. Get ready for some basketball coming straight at you on the fansportsnetwork.com and 93.1 tonight on the radio side. So if you're listening to 93.1, you can head home and watch this game, thefansportsnetwork.com. And we've got the stream fixed, and we're back up and rolling. 2-minute timeout for our national anthem, and then the starting lineup and the tip, Mustangs and Lions, coming up.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in Southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in Southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
Our goal at Stephen Wade Auto Center has always been to be a partner in our community. We continue to work with you to ensure everyone has it made here in Southern Utah and that you've got it made at Stephen Wade.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt aging by 67%. We make your pavement assets last longer, cost less to own, all while achieving higher property values. Visit holbrookasphalt.com to discover more.
We know it takes an entire community to make Southern Utah thrive. You will see us on the fields, on the courts, at festivals, and in the schools, and everywhere in between. From Southern Utah's Auto Mall, we help you create memories that bolster joy in our community. It's the reason why we've got it made in Southern Utah and why you've got it made at Stephen Wade.
The AWP Playmaker of the Game. Looking for a place to let the kids run wild? Host a birthday party? House of Jump has got you covered. Plenty of trampolines, head-to-head games, and inflatables. Jump in or book online at houseofjump.com. When you hear the dunk of the game, text DUNK to 833-644-2423 for 1 hour free jump time.
tonight here at the field house. The Mustangs and the Lions. Since Payson has a couple games under their belt, they are going to be led by Isaac Wolf. He comes in 17 points per game in the 2 games played, so he has been a guy to really get them going. Cooper Swayze will start at 1 guard for Coach Anthony Mitchell. Parker Buys, number 2. He's a senior, 5'10". Isaac Wolf goes about 6'1", the scoring guard. And then you've got number 25, who is getting the nod, and I don't have a 25.
He's not even on their roster.
On the roster there. We'll have to check on that. Might be 23. Maybe Micah Swayze. And now the Mustangs getting introduced. And, of course, the focal point for the Mustangs and first-year head coach Kent Fairborn is going to be Jordan Eaton and Houston Johnson. These 2 bigs are very, very talented. And, of course, we'll have to watch closely to see how that ankle injury that happened and got re-aggravated in the state football championship is he 80%, 90%, 100%? Well, we'll see tonight for Mr. Jordan Eaton. Troy Taylor will get to start. Still Barbin in the starting lineup. And also Scoop, your guy Scoop.
Yeah, Scoop Jackson.
Scoop Jackson, the other starter there. A nice starting lineup. And again, the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs picked 3rd in the preseason media and coaches poll. Flyers were picked 1, not the defending champ Snow Canyon Warriors, because they had a couple of their juniors that were going to be seniors move away.
Yeah, that was going to be a really good team. Still kind of baffles me. I mean, you're a defending state champion. You get plenty of touches, and you want to go up north and sit on the bench or, play limited minutes behind whatever.
Yeah.
I would really like to see that team come back and try and go back to back.
It's a rare feat, right, to go back to back. Another
high school level.
Another guy, the big man, Kean Webb from Dixie High School, 6'10". He went up to American Fork, too.
Oh, is that where he ended up?
He transferred to play for Coach Ryan Cuff, moved up north. So we lost some talent, but there's a bunch of new move-ins. There's a bunch of upcoming talent. I think basketball, you've been here. You played in this region, Ben. Where do you think it is compared to, say, 20 years ago?
Well, I think the interesting thing is that 20 years ago, there were 3 or 4 people that actually went on to play Division I. Now you got 4 or 5 athletes inside the region. You had 6 or 7 last year that are D1 style athletes. And so I think that's the biggest difference is you have kids now that can make it to that next level where, 15, 20 years ago, you maybe had 1 a year that could get a shot.
Crimson, they had some strobe lights. The lights are down. They had a little technical difficulty, but there's Scoop Johnson. There's Jordan Eaton. Here comes Still Barbin. And Trevor Taylor. I think I said Troy earlier, my mistake. Trevor Taylor, who didn't get a lot of meaningful minutes. He's going to get a big increase in minutes this year. And then the other guy, Houston Johnson. Phoenix McWillis is another name to watch for Coach Fairborn. He started the season with the team and then left the team last year. He's a leaper. He's got a lot. He's really springy.
He's bouncy, yeah. Duncan is a freshman. Had some issues last year where he didn't end up finishing the year with the team, but it looked like they figured it out, and it's good to see him back. I mean, kids should be playing high school basketball. And I think what's interesting about this is not a lineup really built on shooting. And I think you're going to see my guess is another key or another stat that's going to be telling at the end of the game is 3-point field goal percentage.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see Payson probably shoot a higher percent.
Got to figure out 25 because I don't have him on. I'm going to have to check the max preps to make sure. And
yeah, my guess is on their official roster, what Devin's talking about is there's a 23, there's a 20 and a 35, so they don't even have the guy on the roster that's starting that they provided.
Tip-off in the air, and it's brought to you by Luke Udy at American Family Insurance, and tip one by the Payson Lions. Quickly, they go down, and it's knocked out of bounds. We think it's Kamika Wesley.
Yeah, I wonder if that's any connection to the Utah great name of McKelly Wesley.
He's listed as
Ty Wesley.
15, but wearing 25 tonight, so glad we got that sorted out. 5 seconds in. We've got a stoppage. The officials are discussing something. And it was knocked out of bounds, signaled Payson ball, and I don't know if it's a shot clock problem because it's 35 on the shot clock. It should be 30. So that's what they're trying to sort out.
It looked like they got the steal, and then the Crimson player that got the steal stepped on the line.
Inbounding it for the Lions. Parker buys inside, and the shot goes up and made. And I believe that was Cooper Swayze, number one with the bucket.
Swayze, number one. And that's what I'm talking about. Is you're going to see it was a backdoor play, back screen, and this is the problem early on in the preseason is that communication and just having the reps of playing different guys. You've only been playing your own team and your own plays in practice.
Eaton out top defending, gets in on a little pick and pop from Barber, and then there's the first three of the game. Nothing but the bottom for Jordan Eaton.
And Jordan's one of those kids that if he gets hot, I guess like most people, he can get cooking, but he's a rhythm player from outside. So if he knocks down a couple, that could be a big night for him.
Three-pointers all season long, brought to you by You First Credit Union, and a three at the other end by Wesley.
Well, they didn't have his jersey right, but apparently he can score, Dev.
Smooth-looking shot, corner pocket. Drano. 5-3, Lions have the lead. Scoop, give and go to Johnson. He'll attack the rim. Almost got the and one. Hung on the rim and fell off no good, but he'll head to the stripe for two.
Yeah, problem with that play is travel. He was just a little outside. He, needed one dribble. Wasn't close enough to just take it up and finish it.
I was watching the action up high. Did not see the official signal that. 5-3 Lions by 2. A minute 15 into this game. Driving down the left side. Taylor blocks it, but they call foul on Trevor Taylor. Driving to the bucket was Isaac Wolf, and he'll shoot free throws.
And I think what you're seeing already, Dev, is that Payson seems to be, even in a couple of minutes, a little more in rhythm. And I think that, again, that just comes back to being able to have a couple more games under your belt.
Wolf to the line. Fabulous Freddy's free throw. Got it. Wolf only 6'1", but again, 17 points on average in the first two games. Second free throw looks good. It is.
I think you'll see, Dev, that again, Payson has a long history of jump shooting, and I think you can already see just in the shots we've seen, these guys can make baskets.
Largest lead of the game, 7-3. Taylor drives the baseline, terminates, looking for some help. Whip pass outside. Scoop Johnson on a run off the window, doesn't go, but a whistle and a foul. And Luke Scoop Johnson will draw his teammates in a little huddle, but they never really got to huddle up because the officials want them on the line.
That's called the head fake, Dev.
As always, we got some awards we're looking for. Ben and I will name them in the post-game show. We got our Appliance Wholesalers Plus Playmaker Play of the Game. We got our Hearst Stores Player of the Game. And we'll also pick the Morgan Pest Control Defensive Play of the Game. All coming up in our Johnson Pediatric Dentistry post-game show. But early action here, a couple free throws good, and Crimson cuts the lead back down to 7-5. Quick three from the right wing. That won't go. Rebound gobbled up. Put back blocked away by Johnson. Houston.
That's the beauty in having a kid like Houston is he's just so long. And again, when your dad's an NBA player and a great college player, that doesn't hurt.
Shot up no good. Offensive rebound tipped around. Scoop Johnson grabs it. And Taylor will try to reset up top. Straight away to Johnson. Britton did some media work with the Utah Jazz for a couple of seasons. Taylor, hard drive to the rim, no call. And rebound cleared. No, it's not cleared. Mad scramble, still loose. And finally, I believe we have a tie-up jump ball.
Well, this is how Crimson, I think, is going to have to be competitive this year, is doing the little things, jumping on the floor, extra hustle plays. They're not, they're coming up. They got football players out there right now. They're going to take some time to transition to being basketball players.
Inbound to the corner to Barbin, drop it in to Johnson. Johnson over to Eaton. Eaton triple threat, puts it on a bounce, hard drive to the baseline. Kick out, they call an offensive foul. He just barely extended the arm, and it was sold pretty nicely as Parker Buys hits the deck.
I think Jordan's down there saying, in football, that's a no call. He's down there trying to get an explanation like, look, I got hit harder than that without seeing a flag.
You always wonder if some of those football guys will foul out early in the season until they adjust. Quick three by Parker Buys, and down it goes, nothing but the bottom.
And again, Dev, you can just see the quality of the jump shots. I mean, the good release, confidence stepping into it. This is a team that's played a couple of games, but also these guys know how to make shots.
Stolen away on the ground. Not a great pass there. And then we ended up getting a tie-up alternate possession. We'll go to the Lions. So empty possession there for the Mustangs. They were just trying to start their stuff in the half-court set. And Scoop Johnson didn't deliver a very good pass there. And getting on the floor was Noah Nelson and getting a takeaway. Parker buys. Kick to the corner. Drive through the lane. And an offensive foul on...
Looks like Trevor Taylor.
Cooper Swayze gets charged with the foul, and you're right. Trev took a nice little charge.
Not a football kid, but he took one like he was.
He looks like he could play football.
Yeah,
though.
He's an
built.
athlete. He's an athlete.
Just a sophomore, right?
Just a sophomore.
Yeah, young pup.
Yep. I think he saw a little bit of time last year on the varsity.
Yeah, I remember playing, but it was usually, late in game situation where the game was already in hand. Couple early minutes, but not much. 10-5 on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard. Pull-up jumper, and Parker buys, drops it again. He's starting to fill it up. Had that 3 and now a quick 2. He's got a quick 5 points, and the lead is all the way up to 7. 12-5, Payson leading Crimson Cliffs. 4:21 left here in the first quarter. Baseline runner won't go for Barbin. Offensive rebound bounces out to Johnson. Eaton now within the corner, and it's stolen away. He was trying to feed it outside. Here comes Swayze, and Taylor goes through. I didn't see a foul. He cut in front of him, though, which caused an awkward shot, and then they do call the late foul. I don't know if he touched him, though.
No, I think it's one of those plays that the defender takes a little bit of a swipe at it, and the offensive guy anticipates some contact that never comes, and it looked like he lost his foot. Ref a little out of position. Guy goes to the floor. Whistle gets blown.
Yep. There definitely was a reaching. I just don't know if he got him or not. Free throw, though. No good. First substitutes into the game, number 14.
Yep, looks like Jay Sweeten into the game. Yeah. Trevor. Looks like Trevor might have banged his ankle up a little bit. I guess he's been nursing an ankle as well, from what I understand.
Jace had a great season. First team Region 10 safety. Bunch of interceptions, helping the Mustangs to the state championship. And was that Parker buys?
Yep.
Got them both?
Yep.
And all of a sudden the lead is up to 8, or he split them.
Got one of the two there.
Johnson, hard dribble drive. Right hand from the left side, and he finishes with a kiss off the glass.
So far, Dev, Houston, it looks like the guy that is going to be the leader on the squad. He just has a little extra bounce in his step. He's been playing, he got in a lot of games. I think they got in over 40 or 50 games this summer, their AAU team. You can just tell he looks totally different than he did last year.
Yeah, it looks a little more fluid to me. And another rain-making 3 goes down. Cade Jensen, who just checked in, buried it.
Over-under on Payson threes, 15 at this point? Yeah. And they've got 4.
Trying to be like BYU against Westminster the other night. Yeah, they were falling from everywhere. Inside it goes to Sweeten. He'll kick it to the corner to Barbin. He'll take an open look at a 3, but he left it short. Rebound fought for and cleared by Swayze. Outlet ahead. Here come the Lions. They're up 16-7 on the Wilkinson scoreboard. Stop and pop 3, and another one. You better take the over, Ben.
Better take the over.
Isaac Wolf's got 5, his first triple and a timeout. And we'll step aside. Timeout's brought to you by Cache Valley Bank. It's a full timeout. You're listening and watching high school basketball on the Fan Sports Network.
I'm Bo Bradshaw, owner of Bo's Auto Parts. I want to watch the game as well, so I'll make this quick. When you come into Bo's Auto Parts, our store mission is simple. Supply our customers with the best auto parts and the best customer service we can provide. Come on by and see if we can deliver.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
Hi, learn more at giufootball.com.
From bold statements to subtle compliments, Wilkinson's House of Lighting will help you more fully enjoy all the different spaces in your home. Stop in and see what's new at Wilkinson's House of Lighting, a proud sponsor of Region 10 Athletics.
Back at the field house, Crimson Cliffs, in a little bit of a hole, the three-point barrage, 19-7. Devin Dixon, Ben Lindquist. And it's not like they're wide open threes. They're contested.
The last two extremely contested. And this is what you don't want to get into. This is the hardest thing in basketball is you get a team that starts making shots. You start to see the score creep into double digits, and you also on your end feel like you got to start pressing and casting them.
And that's what we saw there. A quick three by Eaton from straight away, missed it. And Payson running down to the other end. It has it deflected out of bounds. They'll retain possession. Parker buys to inbound. Gets it out top to Isaac Wolf. Wolf off a high pick. And he'll step back and take another three and bottoms up. Isaac Wolf. This team is in fuego right now.
Did I say 15?
You might have shot low.
I mean, what do we got? 7 already?
Inside. Jordan Eaton.
6 already. Oh, but again, look, this is Houston might be the guy that needs to get these guys going. I mean, you just get a great steal right there. You got Steele Barber at the layup, and they're going to have to stay in this game with some defense.
Defense leading to offense. Points off turnovers. They cut the lead in half, 22-11 after that Barbin bucket. His first bucket of the season, and now a turnover by the Lions. Still first quarter, 1:59 left in the first quarter.
That's the hard thing is we've only played 6 minutes. So if you can get your team, if you're Coach Fairborn right now, you're just saying, guys, just weather the storm. They've played 2 games. They're not going to make every 3.
And Payson having no problems getting shots off within about 10 seconds, let alone 35 seconds of the shot clock. Beautiful move on a mid-range turnaround jumper. Won't go, but an offensive rebound for Sweeten, and he is fouled. He'll head to the stripe for 2.
That's what we talked about. One of the keys right there, Dev, offensive rebounding. I think Crimson's going to need to get those extra possessions right now, especially if I don't think. My guess is that these guys are going to have 15 threes. Crimson might finish the game with 4 or 5. That's how much of a disparity there'll be there.
You're going to have to win in other areas if that's the case. First free throw for Sweeten, good. Sweeten just a junior.
Looks like Max Mitchell's in the game. He looks like he could be the brother of Kamika Wesley. That or they just have the same haircut. I don't know.
They do. Second free throw good for Sweeten as well.
A little bit of full court press here from Crimson, probably trying to create some of those extra possessions.
They get it to the corner. Quick trigger shot won't go. Kick out rebound to Barbin. Kick out. Here comes Scoop. Scoop back out top straight away to Houston. Houston Johnson, a little hesitation move and well defended there by the Lions. Max Mitchell, the guy you just looked to. And now Max Mitchell gets a block on Eaton, but it'll stay with the Mustangs. Coaches like it when you come into a game and you play defense instantly. It's going to earn him more minutes.
Yeah. Effort and hustle plays make a huge difference, especially in a game like this where you're looking for a spark to kind of turn the tides.
Turnaround Jay, smooth for Jordan Eaton. Tickles the twine of the net.
I think if you're Coach Fairborn right now, you're thinking, can we get into the second quarter, with a 6 or 7 point deficit? Right now it's at 7. It's 22-15.
Eaton has 7 of the Mustangs' 15 after that last jump shot. Now a little one-handed floater that goes, and Parker buys. All of a sudden, he has got 8. That's a game high, showing us he's not just a three-point shooter.
Yeah, that was a tough shot over the outstretched hand of Houston Johnson.
Scoop, kick out. Barbin, quick trigger 3. Too strong, but another offensive rebound for the Mustangs. Scoop back with it out top. Shot clock is not working right now because the game clock is overloaded now. There's 13 left here in the first quarter. Mustangs will hold for the final shot of the frame. Eaton drives the lane, Euro step, and a whistle and a foul. Shot won't drop. It'll head to the line with 7 seconds left on the shot clock, or the game clock.
I think Jordan looked up at the ref thinking, could that have been called an offensive foul? The way the game's going. I mean, you can just see how physically strong Jordan is. And if, he goes against someone a little less physical, I think sometimes you don't get the benefit of the doubt from the refs.
I couldn't agree more. Good touch there. It's going to be interesting because Eaton is a guy that I always thought his first love was basketball. He decides to go out for football as a senior, and I know college coaches had to see some of his tape this year and be very intrigued.
Yeah, curious for sure. He broke our heart, though, Dev, in media day when he said, yeah, I think football might have overtaken basketball.
I was a little bit
love.
I was a little bit surprised. He misses the second free throw. They get the offensive rebound. The kick-out three won't go, and that'll do it for the first quarter. Scoop Johnson on a kick-out pass had a good look, and so the Lions behind the three-point shot have built a 24-16 lead. We'll take a timeout. We'll be right back. Again, 24-16 on the Wilkinson scoreboard. Second quarter coming up.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
Stephen Wade Auto Center is committed to supporting our community. We are here to assist you and your family through every step of your life. This dedication to Southern Utah is born from the core values of the Wade family to support education, healthcare, homelessness, patriotism, heritage, and recreation that all add to our quality of life. At Stephen Wade Auto Center, we're working with you to ensure we've got it made here in Southern Utah and that you've got it made at Stephen Wade.
House of Jump is Southern Utah's only indoor trampoline park and your only place to jump, dunk, and dodge. Head on over to our house, the House of Jump.
Benefits. A work week is Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. This is a great opportunity to join the Morgan Pest Control's work family. Call Morgan Pest today at 435-673-9127 for this amazing job opportunity.
Back live, Mustangs have the possession, but not for long. Stolen, and Cooper Swayze with the left hand scores it. He's got 4, and that's a good way for the Lions to start quarter number 2.
Yeah, if you're Coach Fairborn, you hate to see that because you've trimmed it down to 8 after what feels like you're down 20, and you come out of probably a quarter with a good set play, and a turnover happens.
Whistle and a foul. What happened there?
And I think this is where fatigue set in. It looks like Drake Carroll is ready to sub in for Still Barbin. No, he's going to take Scoop out here. Drake Carroll, a sophomore, a young kid here, number 5. And a physical kid, a little undersized, but I think he's put in here to see if he can create a spark.
Sweeten with the spark, little mid-range J, and he buries it, 26-18. Crimson hanging around, and now a 3 won't go. Finally, the Lions miss one from deep range, and a quick rebound outlet. Mustangs have numbers. And over to Felts for a House of Jump, one-handed slam. How about Sean Felts?
Oh, boy, Dev, did you think he was going to dunk that? Because I sure didn't. He swings in from the left side, throws up the hammer, and jams it down. Well, and that's the problem. Parker buys in the corner with a 3 to respond. He says, you give me the dunk, I'll take the 3.
That quiets the crowd quickly.
29-20, Dev. You're only down 9. You're not out of this thing, but you got to start getting some quality possessions and stops.
And they go inside to Felts, and he's quickly fouled. He does have a huge size advantage.
You know, it's funny. We watched a little bit of Felts in the JV game, and that's sometimes the hard thing is when you're a big guy and you're playing against little guys in that JV and sophomore level. It's kind of nice to be playing against guys your size a little bit. He seemed confident right off the bench.
He is a true 6'9" junior. And a baby hook, and toilet bowl's out for Felts. Played for the Crimson State champ golf teams. His dad, Cody Felts, is the head coach of the golf team at Crimson. And another 3 by the Lions. Who hit that one?
I didn't see who hit that one, but I'm just doing the math in my head.
I'm guessing Parker
buys. That's 8 3-pointers, Dev.
They are definitely hot, and the Mustangs got to try to chase them off that 3-point line. Lead is back up to 12, 32-20 on the Wilkinson scoreboard.
Well, they've got the size, so if you're Coach Fairborn right now, you should be saying, look, guys, force them off the line into the inside where we have the size advantage.
Nice little triangle play where they go to the corner, then quickly down to the low block. Sweeten attacks and is fouled. They'll shoot free throws. Hey, Nets on Fire Region 10 update. First half, Snow Canyon leads Salem Hills 39-26. Owen Mackey got into foul trouble in the first half, had to sit for the final 6 minutes of the first half. Luke Hamlin has 9. Will Warner leading the Warriors with 14 points.
Interesting.
One of their Nets on fire. Final score from earlier today. Desert Hills falls to Ridgeline. Ridgeline hits a bucket with 4 seconds left to win at 64-62. Sweeten free throw, got them both.
So it's back to 10, 32-22. And if you're Coach Fairborn, again, you're just saying, guys, we got to weather the storm. Just hang in there. If this thing gets any bigger, they go into the locker room at halftime down 12, 14, 15. That's a problem. You need to keep this thing around 7 to 10 to have a chance.
Absolutely. There's still plenty of time to make a run. Good defense here by Drake Carroll, and a steal by Trevor Taylor. Outlet to Carroll, ahead to Eaton. Eaton leaves it. Carroll, floater from 15 feet. Hard to find the touch when you're running, and now they got a trap going, and Payson trying to clear the basketball can. It's knocked out of bounds, and I think they're going to call Drake Carroll on a foul or not. Well, yes, they are.
They're pointing. Oh, they did call the foul on Drake Carroll. And that was one where it looks like they might have missed a jump ball. Looked like Eaton had his hand on the ball there for about 2 and 3, and as a ref, that's a hard call.
Haven't seen Phoenix McWillis yet tonight.
I'm told that Phoenix had a family vacation planned, and that he had missed some time, so that might be a factor in that.
Max Mitchell, guess what, folks? Another right edge 3, nothing but the bottom. It's a 3-for-all tonight for the Payson Lions. Barbin trying to answer, and there's the first triple for Barbin of the game. Another U First Credit Union 3.
By my count, that's 9 3-pointers.
And 2 for the Mustangs.
And 2.
Kick out to Buys.
Up again. Oh.
Not this time. Rebound Feltz. Here comes Sean Feltz, all 6'9", takes a dribble, passes it ahead to Drake Carroll. He'll try to push it up off the glass and scores it. Drake Carroll's got his first bucket of the game. The lead is down to 8, 35-27. Payson leading Crimson with 4 minutes and 34 seconds left in the first half.
Well, and you can see the defensive pressure stepped up. They're forcing them off the line, but now they're scoring on the inside.
Nice little 8-foot baseline jumper by Kamiko Wesley. He's got 5. Barbin, handoff to Carroll. Back to Barbin in the corner. Quickly down to Eaton. Double teamed immediately, but a whistle and a foul. Little push foul on Jordan Eaton.
37-27 again. They're just hanging in there. If they can get a couple of stops and a couple of buckets, this thing's far from over.
And Payson's got to be thinking, hey, let's keep staying hot from distance and try to take a double-digit lead into the half.
See if we can make 10 threes by halftime.
Yeah.
9 threes in a first half of a high school basketball game?
Definitely impressive shooting. And I think they're shooting about 70% from downtown right now.
They missed 4.
Yep. Free throw good for Jordan Eaton. And Jordan has 9. With one more coming from the Fabulous Freddy's free throw line. Give him 10 into double digits. Fabulous Freddy's has a special tomorrow. Get 20 cents off per gallon of gas. All you have to do is mention code word Utah Utes. They're playing that Pac-12 championship game tomorrow, and you get 20 cents off per gallon at both Southern Utah Fabulous Freddy's.
Let's go fill them up tomorrow.
I filled it up today, and I gave them the code, and they honored it today.
Oh, no, they're not fabulous for no reason.
And they had a bunch of people come in already today. They were honored today and tomorrow. So, yeah, make a note of that. 20 cents off. Right now, gas is sub $4 anyway. Diesel's still up there.
Yikes.
And so, we got a 30-second timeout. We're going to keep it right here.
And if I'm in the huddle right now with Crimson, what I'm saying is, guys, they're not going to shoot 80% on the night. We got to make sure we rebound. We got to make sure we take care of the basketball. And we got to come down here and get some extra juice out of the possessions. But they're not going to shoot 70-80% from three-point field goal percentage. Just not going to happen.
You wouldn't think they would do it so far on the road here.
They just missed 2 quick. So what are we, 9 of 16 now?
Yeah. Well, you could tell Anthony Mitchell, the head coach of the Payson Lions, is given 5 or 6 guys green light. Everybody's got green light, I feel like, on this Lions team. And again, this was a team that won 21 games last year, but is trying to replace 5 starting seniors that all graduated. But they look like they got a lot in the cupboard coming up through the ranks.
Well, before the viewers and the listeners at home say Ben's crazy, it's like the Warriors, right? It's the Steph Currys, the Klay Thompsons, but you see it from the other guys. They have that swagger as they come in and shoot the 3-ball. That's probably what's happened with Payson. They've got guys last year from that 21-3 team that are shooters. And so now they've watched that, and they come in, they feel like it's an easy transition for me to be like them.
Absolutely. Parker Buys driving on Drake Carroll. Might have got away with a little bit of a travel as that back foot drug, no call. And now they'll reset it up top to Cade Jensen.
I think the closer this game can stay, the more this favors Crimson, because Payson's just shot it so well.
Blocked by Houston Johnson, ahead to Trevor Taylor, who's running down and scoring with the right hand. That is Taylor's first bucket of the game. Johnson, Phelps, Taylor, the bigs, Jordan Eaton.
Off the bench, too.
Getting some production from your big guys. And you know, you talk about kind of the premier big in the region, and that's probably Kyle Lemke over at Dixie High School. But between Phelps and Eaton and Taylor, they've got some guys that could potentially give him some troubles.
Well, I was really curious what Houston would look like coming into this game, and to me, he's been the most energized and impactful player on the court.
He's looking a lot more like Britton, his father. He's grown into his body. He got a rebound and ran and then missed a runner, and here come the Lions the other way.
Yeah, and Dev, if you're Crimson right now, you're looking up at the scoreboard seeing 37-31 going, how are we only down 6?
Right. Yeah, they continue to fight, and obviously a stop here, they can maybe cut the lead in half and get it down to one possession game.
And Coach Mitchell's on Payson's got to be saying, how are we only up 6?
Buys, nice head fake, drove the baseline, and he got bumped and fouled. So Parker Buys will not go to the line. That's only the 5th team foul. No, I'm sorry. It was on the floor there. But it is just the 5th on the Mustangs. 8 fouls on the Lions in this one tonight so far. They get it in to Braxton Shirley, who's seen some action here late in the half.
And if you're Crimson right now, you're thinking, okay, they have 18 fouls. Let's make sure we don't settle for threes. We're in a 6-point ball game. Let's take it inside, get fouls, and go shoot free throws.
Buys, drives the middle. There was a lot of traffic, big collision. 2 Mustangs hit the deck, and they call a reach foul on the Mustangs. 1:53 left to go here in the first half. Glad you're with us. Streaming tonight on the fansportsnetwork.com. We'll be streaming 25-plus regular season games, plus all the postseason games on our website. Coming at you on radio on 93.1 because the Utah Tech Trailblazers are over on the Fan Sports Network. Huge game tonight up at Utah State, and they lead Utah State 30-29 right now, Ben.
Well, the WAC has just been, I mean, they've been upsetting a lot of these teams. We had a WAC team that took SU took Kansas
to the wire.
Stephen F. Austin beat 2 Power 5 conference.
Sam Houston beat Oklahoma and Utah.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
I was thinking Stephen F. Austin and Sam Houston.
Cal Baptist beat UW.
Yeah.
So we've had some upsets from some FCS WAC schools.
And really, Utah Tech took Washington to the wire, too, really.
Yep.
Closer than they wanted it to be for Washington.
37-31. We're stuck on that score. Down 1:15 left. Payson working some time. The shot clock, this is one of the deepest possessions they've went in the shot clock. It's down to under 10. Parker Buys out top, guarded by Scoop Johnson. Buys has it stripped, and it goes off his leg out of bounds. And with 3 seconds on the clock, they get a stop defensively and a turnover.
Well, and I think Parker Buys wants a call there, but I think even from up here with a bad angle, we could see it was off his leg. Scoop's bringing the ball up just over a minute, 37-31. Pretty good game so far for our first kickoff game, Dev.
Absolutely. Johnson with the left-hand dribble, hand off to Eaton. Jordan, a couple bounces looking to insert it in, nothing there. Back to Houston. Houston Johnson goes to a little runner off the window. Got it, Houston Johnson. He's got 4.
Play. Soft touch off the glass, left shoulder, right finish. Dad's up there saying, that looks familiar.
Of course, Britton, when he first was in the league, dunked on LeBron.
Yeah.
And that was, I had to go back and watch that clip last year to kind of get a refresher. It was a pretty impressive dunk.
Yeah. I've pulled that up for my boy a couple times and said, hey, look at this guy. He's a Utah guy.
Payson does answer at the other end. I didn't catch who made that bucket.
It looked like Parker Buys again.
He's been hot.
Back cut.
And there's another bucket, this time Sweeten.
Sweeten with the sweeping, sweet left-handed layup, 39-35.
Crimson's got to be happy.
Now it's a 4-point game.
Yeah, they got to be happy, only be down 4. And Payson did cool off there in the last 3-4 minutes of that first half. And it's anybody's game. We've played 2 quarters complete, 39-35. And tonight's game brought to you by Jason Baum, Bay Equity Home Loans.
I don't know if that was our long bomb of the game, but it was certainly a sweet play by Jay Sweeten.
Yeah.
A sweet long bomb?
We saw a lot of Jason Baum long bombs from Still Barber on the football field.
Right.
I bet they got an out-of-bound play or two for him to throw one deep from the
might be able to hit his target.
Baseline to baseline. Stick around. Halftime entertainment. We'll take a 3-minute timeout. We'll come back, run through some stats, talk second half adjustments, get you some scores from around the region and the country. Again, at the half on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard. It's the Payson Lions 39, the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs 35. Stay with us.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt aging by 67%. We make your pavement assets last longer, cost less to own, all while achieving higher property values. Visit holbrookasphalt.com to discover more.
Our goal at Stephen Wade Auto Center has always been to be a partner in our community. We continue to work with you to ensure everyone has it made here in southern Utah and that you've got it made at Stephen Wade.
I'm Bo Bradshaw, owner of Bo's Auto Parts. I want to watch the game as well, so I'll make this quick. When you come into Bo's Auto Parts, our store mission is simple. Supply our customers with the best auto parts and the best customer service we can provide. Come on by and see if we can deliver.
We know it takes an entire community to make southern Utah thrive. You will see us on the fields, on the courts, at festivals, and in the schools, and everywhere in between. From Southern Utah's Auto Mall, we help you create memories that bolster joy in our community. It's the reason why we've got it made in southern Utah and why you've got it made at Stephen Wade.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
Capacities of a large bank. Whatever your ambition, Cache Valley Bank team has the tools to help you succeed. Cache Valley Bank, proud sponsor of Region 10 Athletics.
Halftime at the field house, Crimson Cliffs High School. Welcome in on the FanSportsNetwork.com. If you're watching this game and listening on 93.1 tonight, get you back to News Talk here after one more half of basketball, but we're going to have a few select games here on 93.1 St. George News Radio this season. Devin Dixon, Ben Lindquist. This is the Rally Stop halftime show, and rally towards the end of the second quarter the Mustangs did. I think Coach Fairborn, Ben, can spin this as a positive that his guys are only down 4 right now.
Yeah, I think he was looking in there thinking if they keep making threes, we're in big trouble. But somehow, this is 39-35. Payson's been shooting 62% from the three-point line, and they're only up by 4. So one coach is in the locker room saying, how are we only up 4? The other coach is saying, I can't believe we're within 4.
You look at a couple stars in that first half. How about Parker Buys? 3 triples, and then 3 field goals, went 1 or 2 from the free throw line. He leads all scorers with 16 points unofficially by my count.
Yeah, and this is the difference we talked about in the pregame, is when you've got a team that's already got 2 games under their belt versus a team that this is their first game. They've just come out of a state championship.
And again, a good 5A like Payson. The simple way to look at the RPI with every game counting is play good teams and beat good teams. If you play up a classification and you beat a team that went 21-3 last year, that's going to help your RPI, because you know Payson's going to win some games in Region 7 once they get into their region.
Yeah, and they were picked 2nd this year. Yeah, so you're going to see a lot of good
Cedar
things.
Valley Aviators were picked first.
Right. I think you're right. Yeah, I think right now, really interesting that Crimson, I think, this is going to be a theme, I think, throughout the course of the years. I don't think the 3-ball is going to be their equalizer. I think it's going to be their hustle. I think it's going to be their grit. I think it's going to be their rebounding and their inside play.
Yeah, I agree. Really, they didn't take a lot of threes. Barban, I think, went 1 of 4 from distance. Eaton went 1 for 3. And I'm trying to think who else took a 3.
Just the 2 threes.
Yeah, and they've hit just the 2.
The 2 made, yeah.
Yep. I really like what Jay Sweeten did off the bench, though. He comes in, 2 field goals, goes 4 for 4 from the free throw line, gives you 8 bench points.
Yeah. That caught me off guard. I really think Carroll, Feltz, and Sweeten off the bench kind of turned the game a little bit. And another guy that I've been really impressed with is Houston Johnson. Just the way he moves from last year to this year. I think he's obviously put the time in the offseason, and his energy has been the most sustained.
And it wasn't just scoring. It was a couple deflections. He was getting in passing lanes. He was rebounding nicely. And he's the type of player that can rebound and bring the ball up court. And it looks like Coach Fairborn is good with that, because we saw that a number of times.
There were a couple times I was looking over saying, hey, give it up to the guard. And he just, of course, he only has to take 2 dribbles to make it to half court. He's such a big, long guy.
Hey, by the way, we did have the dunk of the night earlier. Feltz comes in off the bench, take everybody through that play. He starts way out on the left wing.
And as a coach, this is what you get excited about. You know, we talk about my brother Sean. He always talked about defense, rebound, run. They get a huge stop down here. They get out in the lanes. Carroll kicks it over on the left side. Feltz comes in. Looks like he's going to kind of try to lay it up soft. Reaches back and flushes it down.
Yeah, it was a hammer dunk, one-handed. And that is your House of Jump dunk of the game. If you text dunk, keyword dunk,
I'm doing it right now.
833-644-2423, you get 1 hour free jump at the House of Jump. We're going to be running that promotion all year long. Again, text dunk to 833-644-2423.
Looks like I'm jumping at the House of Jump, Dev, with the kids.
Let's go. You should get an automatic response.
Back. Yeah, they said, hey, we'll send the coupon.
Yep. And go have some fun and jump around. Indoor trampoline park. It's a fan favorite. I've done a couple birthday parties for my...
Now I'm rooting for a couple more dunks.
Yeah. Between Feltz, McWillis, who maybe we won't see tonight because he's missed some time with his family vacation.
It might be one of those things that, you know, they sit him the first half. You've seen some of those types of things where, you know, a kid misses practice or some kind of suspension. I don't think that's what this is, but, you know, they say, all right, cool, you can go, but you're going to miss the first half, and we'll play you in the second half. Well, because he's a kid that really, when you talk about that size and athleticism, might have helped you in the first half.
Yeah, I remember watching him as a freshman, and I was impressed with how the leaping ability. At such a young age, just jump. I mean, if there was a region-wide slam dunk contest, I got to believe he would be one of the favorites.
Yeah.
But Houston Johnson can throw down. You got a number of guys that can get up and throw down here on this Crimson Cliffs team. They trail at the half 39-35. Devin Dixon, Ben Lindquist. This is the Rally Stop halftime show. And Rally Stop reminds you that after cheering on your favorite team, there's no better place to refuel than Rally Stop. Come in, grab some gas, your favorite soda, something to eat. They have all your post-game celebration needs. Let's check in on that Utah Tech game. Into the first half. This game is over on the Fan Sports Network, 99.5, 95.3 in St. George, or 93.1 up in Cedar City. So they're at the half. We're about to start the second half, but you can jump back and forth. 36-36. How about that? Tied with the Utah State Aggies.
I think that's something we saw coming, though, Dev. I mean, you had Juddy on your show the other morning. Utah Tech has some players. They got a couple guys in the portal. They're competing in the WAC. I think you're going to see maybe a team that does a little something in the big dance.
How about Cam Gooden, the senior, though? 20 first half points of the Blazers, 36. Tanner Christensen, who is the transfer in the portal. Tanner did not score, but he got into foul trouble and only played 5 minutes, so Juddy decided not to play him in that first half. The Funk kids got 12. Ashworth has 11 to lead Utah State. Noah Gonzalez has 8. And so
I have confirmed, Ev, Funk is not Fred Funk's son.
I was just joking about that with Juddy. Yeah, he's about a 5'7" golfer. There's no way.
Coach Judkins was like, wait, what?
Juddy's actually a pretty good golfer. Yeah, Rod Zundle's got the call. The second half coming up in just a bit, but nice to see the update there with the Trailblazers tied. We've also got Cedar losing earlier today to Skyview, 68-52. So we do get some common opponents because Desert Hills, who lost to Ridgeline earlier today, 64-62, will play Skyview tomorrow. So until region starts, that's all we have to kind of compare where teams are at is common opponents. Second half underway, brought to you by Jason Baum, Bay Equity Home Loans, and a quick catch and shoot three by Parker Bies. He's got 19.
Dev, clearly a set play, pinned down screen, top of the three, and you know he was shooting it the second the ball was in the air from the passer.
And nothing but the bottom. Didn't even touch the rim. Swish City. 42-35, lead back up to 7 after that. Bies 3.
And you can see the Crimson coaching staff over there. They're like, guys, we just talked about that.
Shot by Eaton, won't go. And then a steal by Scoop Johnson. Scoop's going to attack, draw the contact. No, he doesn't get the call. And rebound by the Lions.
That's one of those plays you wish you would have just 2-foot jump stop, let the guy fly by, and lay it in.
Parker Bies, quick shot at the 3. That won't go, but a whistle and a foul. Still Barbin bumped into him. And he will shoot 3 from the fabulous Freddy's free throw line. Don't forget, stop by and use code word Utah Utes tomorrow in celebration of the Pac-12 title appearance. They kind of got the help they needed last week, and now they got USC tomorrow night down at the Legionnaire Stadium in Las Vegas. I'm sure a lot of Utah fans heading down to that game tomorrow night.
A lot of fans. And you know I'm not a huge Utah fan. I'm a Duck fan.
You're alumni, though. It's understandable.
I'll take 20 cents off any day of the week.
Yeah, absolutely.
You give me 20 cents off? I mean, you know, your truck. I've seen you fill up your truck. That thing probably takes 40 gallons of gas.
I think it's 22, but close. I mean, it feels like 40 when you get the bill at the end of the tab. Parker Bies misses the first 2 free throws, then hits the third one.
So they've come out, they've knocked a three-pointer down, and then they're fouled on a three-pointer. If you're a coach for Crimson, you're sitting over here going, guys, please.
Houston Johnson has it stolen away by Wesley. Or do they call a foul first?
Looked like they called out of bounds. Oh, no, they're calling a foul on Wesley, and he's sitting here pulling his hair out. Literally gave the I can't believe that's me look to the ref.
He thought he plucked it out clean. It did look fairly clean. We don't have replay tonight. Inside, nice little trigger right at the basket, but Eaton can't score it. Tipped out, and Parker Bies comes away with it.
And that's a play that Eaton's made 100 times. And that's the problem with, you know, coming off of football. Your body's just quite not adjusted to the basketball.
And now a steal by Scoop Johnson. Yeah, that touch is maybe not there. Scoop to a trailing Trevor Taylor. The 3 won't go. Offensive rebound, Houston Johnson. Too strong off the window. Another chance. Eaton, he'll kick it to Johnson. Little 8-foot jumper goes.
He is all over the place. He's on offense. He's on defense. There he did both.
6 tonight for Houston. I like how he collected himself and didn't rush that jumper, too.
Last year, that's probably a play he'd have just cast up quickly. And this year, you obviously can see some growth.
And a block out top called on Houston Johnson.
And it looks like we're right. Here comes Phoenix McWillis. Looks like maybe a first half, hey, we're going to sit you. Second half, we're going to play you.
Yeah, you got to reward the guys that, we're practicing through fall camp and getting ready for, and hey, I get it. Family vacation is important, but yeah, a lot of coaches, even at the collegiate level, you don't practice, you don't play. I had Coach Satake on before the Utah Tech football game. He said, hey, I got a lot of guys that I'd love to play, but if they can't practice, I can't play them.
Yeah.
And an offensive foul call, and Kamika Wesley on a moving screen picks up another personal foul. That is his third, Ben.
And again, not to sound like a broken record, but it's 43-37 with 5:55 left in the third, and you have to be asking yourself, if you're Payson, like, guys, if we don't pull away, we might be in trouble come late game. And then Crimson turns it over, and here comes Payson.
And that was still the other way, takeaway by Jordan Eaton ahead to McWillis. McWillis bounced pass through the lane, and it's stolen, but he stepped out of bounds. Wesley was on the baseline.
We literally just saw turnover, 4 turnovers in 2 possessions. I don't know if that's possible. They barely had it long enough to turn it over.
6-point lead. Mustangs can cut it in half with a 3 here. Scoop Johnson instead is going to drive hard to the basket. Left hand, no. Put back there by Jordan Eaton. Just never stopped on the play and crashed the glass.
And it's 43-39, Dev. 4-point ball game. This is as close as it's been since the opening quarter.
3, no good. Maybe grazed the rim. Offensive rebound by Max Mitchell. Inside they go to the big guy. He's looking for a shot. Lincoln Ewell. Nothing there. Kick it back out to Cooper Swayze, and now a reach in and a foul goes against the Mustangs defensively.
Looks like that one's on Phoenix McWillis. And you can already see with him, it's hard when they've all been playing the first half, and you have to come in the second half and match that intensity.
Yep. Got to let it come to you, though. Buys, looking to get it in. Gets it in at about a 3 count. Back to the middle of the floor in a cutting lane. We'll go from Mitchell, but the putback is up and in by Lincoln Ewell. That's his first points of the night.
The hard part right now is some of these guys, you can see they're starting to huff and puff just a little bit. But if you're Coach Fairborn, I don't know how you take them off the floor because you need that leadership and experience.
And shot up and in. Scoop, guess who?
Scoop with the up and under scoop there.
Scoop with the scoop.
Again, back to 4, 45-41. Payson coming down.
Crossover and a right-hand finish. Beautiful move to clear some space, and the bucket goes for Isaac Wolf.
And you see there, Dev, 3 Crimson players with their hands out saying, you got him? Do I got him?
He's got 10 for number 10 in green tonight, Isaac Wolf. 47-41, and Trevor Taylor with an awkward falling shot. Bank is open for business.
I don't know how to describe that, Dev. He
focused to stay with the shot was impressive, if nothing else.
Yeah, went to step up, and sometimes, if you throw enough up there, enough will go in.
And now a turnover again by the Payson Lions. Did he step out of bounds on the baseline? 47-43, Payson leading by 4. We're halfway through the third quarter. And
my stat sheet shows 16 turnovers at this point, Dev. Again, that's what we talked about. Turnovers this early in the season to be expected, but if you want to win the ball game, you got to limit them.
Getting towards maybe our Bose Auto Parts crucial part of the game. Who can take some momentum into the fourth quarter? Mustangs have never led in this game. Payson scored early and has never trailed. McWillis drive, athletic move, and a little finger roll finish from the right side.
And that's the athleticism that we talked about in pregame. He swoops down the lane, a little up and under.
Kick out, dribble drive, and pass goes right through Lincoln Ewell's wickets. And it really wasn't his fault, though.
Just bad pass.
Yep. Just not enough room there for Cade Jensen, and he just threw it right through his legs. Coach Fairborn barking out some instructions.
It's a 2-point game.
Yep. It feels like Crimson's got a little momentum right now, too.
Yeah.
Taylor has it knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Mustangs. Pesky defense there by Cade Jensen, who just turned it over.
Looks like Trevor Taylor's coming up limping a little bit.
You said he was nursing an injury coming in, wasn't he?
Yeah, and you know how ankle injuries can be. I tell you what, just a little roll doesn't take much when it's already sprained.
McWillis has it poked free, but Scoop Johnson right near half court, and that Mustang logo grabs it. Scoop handoff outside to Eaton. He'll take the 3. It looks good, but it's too strong. Johnson tries to tip it out and get a loose ball rebound. They call over the back on Houston.
I like the hustle. I think if you're the coach, you're sitting there saying, hey, I like a guy crashing the boards. And when you're not in foul trouble, you'll take one of those this early in the third quarter.
2:55 left in quarter number 3. Again, who can close the quarter out strong? Maybe our Bose Auto Parts crucial part of the game. Maybe a little early on that with it being so close, though. That could come later in the fourth quarter. Kick out to Parker Buys, running shot, no. McWillis grabs the rebound across the timeline, and a little bump, and he loses balance, kicks it out. Scoop Johnson thought about a fadeaway. Instead, he'll try to kick it back to McWillis right near half court, and he stays on the Mustang side of the court. Now they go to Johnson. Johnson got a reach-in foul by Ewell. So a foul to stop play.
Sloppy possession there, but that's the nice thing about a senior in Johnson. He grabs it, swings through, rips through, and goes and gets the foul. And again, I know I sound like a broken record, but 47-45, the way they've shot the ball, it's just hard to believe. And I think the turnovers have been a real factor.
Scoop inside of McWillis, and they call an offensive foul. Was that on Sweeten?
On Sweeten, yep.
Jay Sweeten
Looks
tag.
like he just tried to hold that pin screen and just held it a little too long with a little too much arm.
So Jace picks up the personal foul. And still the Mustangs trailing the Lions 47-45. 2 minutes, 15 seconds left here in quarter number 3. The Challenge at the Cliffs tournament is what they are calling this event. Mustangs got a couple more games coming up. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Outside 3 from the left wing. No good. And the threes are not falling in the second half. They have just 1 3 in the second half. Eaton will try to take one. Scoop Johnson tracks down the air ball.
You don't see very many air balls from Jordan, but that's the fatigue. We talked about the conditioning. It's not quite there.
And
boy.
It looked like McWillis was trying to lob it to Eaton, and he kind of hesitated on the backdoor cut and tried to pin his guy, it looked like.
Yeah.
Turnover Mustangs.
When I see a lob like that, when someone used to throw me lobs like that, I wasn't a high flyer like you, Dev, but I'd say, look, man, I'm not Vince Carter here. That one I don't even know if Vince could have caught. It was so high.
I don't think Zach Levine, Vince Carter, Dr. J, I don't know if any of those could have caught it.
Dr. J would have watched it go by.
Cutting down the lane was Cooper Swayze. It's knocked out of bounds, and it'll go back to the Mustangs. And again, another possession where they could tie or take the lead. Mustangs trailing the Lions by 2. 1:27 to go.
The composure, Coach Fairborn, right now. He hasn't gotten too animated. Easy to get frustrated with your team's play on the 3-point line in defense in that first half when they're just letting them rain. He's kept his composure, and here we are down 2.
Scoop back to Taylor. Taylor back to Scoop in the corner. He'll drive the baseline all the way to the rack and scores it with a little kiss off the window.
We got a tie ball game, 47-47. Still looks like we might have he pointed up as if he wanted a lob. Scoop with the lay-in, Eaton with the assist.
8 now for Scoop Johnson with 4 quick ones. And guess what? The Mustangs have the first lead of the game here with under 50 seconds to go in the third quarter. They lead by 2, 49-47. A 3 to retake the lead. No. Rebound Sweeten. He wants to push it ahead. Now we'll slow it up and get it back to Scoop Johnson. 29 on the shot clock, so plenty of time. There's about a 5-second differential shot in game clock right now. Scoop crossover. Looks like he's just running a little time buys in his hip pocket. A little bumping going on, no call. Now flip it back out to Feltz. Feltz will dump it into Sweeten. Sweeten turns, faces, whips it into Eaton. Eaton one-on-one. They try to double him late from the backside. Eaton powers through and scores it. Mustangs lead by 4, 51-47, 10 seconds in the third.
Eaton almost gets a steal on the inbound. Somehow we're up 4. I've been talking about being down 4. Crimson's down 4. 3 on the way.
And Parker Buys, looked like he wanted to try to draw the foul and get the 3 to go. Maybe the 4-point play. 3 grazes off the rim, no good. And the Mustangs have their largest lead of the game going to the fourth quarter. We'll take a 30-second timeout, 51-47. Mustangs with the lead on the Wilkinson scoreboard. Stay with us.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
House of Jump is Southern Utah's only indoor trampoline park and your only place to jump, dunk, and dodge. our house, the House of Jump.
Well, Crimson just keeps digging in, defensively grinding, and finally gets some shots to go. And it wasn't a 3-ball like you talked about earlier, Ben. They are doing it with the 2-point shot, and they have got a 4-point lead going to the fourth quarter.
You're wondering, how on earth are we up 4 and we have only made 2 threes? But that's the problem, and I think this is probably what he said at halftime, which is, guys, they're not going to keep hitting this many three-pointers. If we can just get a couple of stops, weather the storm, and play our style of basketball, which is hustling and teamwork, we're going to win tonight. So start your Payson. You're saying, look, guys, we got to get better shots. We got to take care of the basketball, and we cannot give so much inside in the paint points.
It is Trevor Taylor, Jay Sweeten, Eaton, Johnson, and McWillis on the court, but a turnover. Parker buys with the steal, and McWillis runs into him from the backside, and McWillis will get tagged with his second personal foul.
I think McWillis is excited to be in the game and trying to hustle, and sometimes that's hard to get into the rhythm when everyone else has been playing for 16 minutes of real game.
Well, and he's trying to retreat on defense, and Buys kind of stopped. And now McWillis makes up for it. He gets the steal. Over to Scoop. Right-hand lane too strong. Rebound bounces around right to McWillis. McWillis attacks the rim, and he's fouled. Phoenix McWillis to the line.
What you can see, Dev, is how athletic he is. He's got a great physical body. Super athletic, quick feet. That's going to be a guy that is not going to sit a whole half ever again the rest of the season.
They list him 6'5".
That looks about right.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I are 6'8" with afros, but
free throw good for McWillis.
That's a Fletch reference, by the way. That's a Fletch reference.
I don't think I could pull off an afro.
No, I don't think you could either.
McWillis for one more from the Fabulous.
Mohawk, maybe.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You probably had a mohawk back in the day.
Mini one.
Of course, we got to give a shout out to our producer, Dusty Allen over here. He's for sure had a mohawk. He's got some kind of samurai thing going on.
I want him on my team in a pickup game of hoops. He could body some people around the lane.
Yeah.
Intimidate him with the hair.
He's got a jumper for sure.
And now a takeaway. Here comes McWillis behind the back, trying to go a little showtime, and he led Sweeten too far. It actually was there.
So that's one on the around the back. I'm a little bit of a connoisseur of the around the back, but you got to bounce that one to give the other offensive player a chance to get into it. That thing got airmailed into the stands and was a little bit of a souvenir.
Driving the baseline, Max Mitchell is deflected and stolen away. Here comes Scoop. Defense leading to offense as Johnson goes in with the left hand. No. Sweeten put back. That won't go. Taylor put back. No. Eaton again. That won't go. And finally, Sweeten is fouled on the fourth attempt.
Well, if you give up 4 offensive rebounds in one possession within about 10 seconds, you deserve to have the ref call a foul on you.
They were hitting the underside of the rim in Payson's defense. They didn't even have time to turn and box anybody out. What do you do?
They had just contested the other one and probably fouled him on the way down from that one. And then this is what we talked about, Dev, is this is the first game for Crimson, so you're seeing some of these plays that look like they're out of rhythm, they're out of sorts, they look a little more rushed, and it's to be expected. The surprise, I think, is that, this is Payson's 3rd game, and in the second half, they look like they're the ones who's flustered and frustrated.
30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here to thank some of our sponsors.
Who do you have for the player of the game, the AWA player of the game, AWP player of the game?
Right now,
early favorites.
I think it's the playmaker play of the game.
Playmaker play of the game.
I'm kind of leaning that dunk from Felt still as the leading candidate.
Okay, I like that. What about defensive? Our Morgan Pest defensive play of the game?
Still to come, I think. It would have been that steal and then McWillis behind the back, but he missed the pass. That could have been a candidate.
Is an understatement. That thing was airmailed into the 10th row. And you know what? I like the way Coach Fairborn responded. He was kind of like, all right. I mean,
one other award we'll hand out is our Jersey Mike's sub of the game, too.
Ooh.
Jersey Mike, stop by, ask for it Mike's way.
Ask for it Mike's way, man. It's the best way to get it.
Oil, the vinegar, the salt, pepper.
Yep. I'm told they put the oil on top of the vinegar, and it helps it kind of seal it in.
I believe it. Sweeten, another free throw. He's kind of made a living at the line.
He probably is our early favorite for the Jersey Mike sub of the game.
He is 6 for 6 from the line, and I think he's 2 for 4 from the field, and he's got 10 points. And a whistle and a foul.
This is what you hate to see, is early in the fourth quarter, 6 team fouls, make it 7. Now they're at the line. So this is what's frustrating as your coach, because you got almost 7 minutes left in the game, and they're already in the bonus.
And McWillis just picked up his 4th personal foul, and he didn't play in the first half. So now he's got to sit with 6:46 left in the game, and Houston Johnson checks back in. Free throw good.
But the way that Crimson's been getting back into this game, Devin, is through the physicality and the hustle. And so if you're the coach right now, you're like, guys, we got to play hard, but we got to stop fouling, because every time you foul from this point on, you send them to the free throw line.
Where he splits the free throws. But Cade Jensen darted in and got a tie-up. Alternate possession will stay with the Lions. Lob it inside, right at the front of the rim. Missed it. Maybe partially deflected by Johnson.
Yeah, and I've got that as Houston's 8th rebound of the game.
Outside scoop Johnson. Little English bounce pass. Now backdoor cut to Eaton. Eaton left hand, missed it. Got his own miss, and that one he scores.
You can't give a guy as physical and athletic as Jordan Eaton that many second chances.
Eaton's got 14, and now a takeaway and a steal by Eaton, or an air ball. It really never got out of his hand clean. Johnson trying to attack. Baby hook won't go. Rebound again. Jordan Eaton's got to be closing in on 10 rebounds. An extra pass from Eaton over to Sweeten. It's knocked away. Trevor Taylor tracks it down. They get it to Scoop.
I'd love to see the shot chart for Crimson right now. My guess is they've had like 15 shots within 2 feet of the basket in the second half.
Yep, they're just not falling there. Some good looks, too. And now a turnover off of Eaton's foot. He lost the handle. Johnson tries to steal, gambled, but got caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
This is what we just talked about. 5:45 left. You're in the bonus. Every foul from this point on is a free walk to a line where they're all free.
And you stop the clock, because all of a sudden Crimson has their largest lead of the night. They're up 57-48. This has been a great run in the second half. Mustangs trailed by as many as, was it 12 men in the first half?
Yep, they got down 12.
It was 6 at the half. And, of course, Mustangs.
We got an 8-point game, 57-49, and Payson has a little bit of momentum now.
Max Mitchell knocks them both down from the Fabulous Freddy's free throw line. Remember, code word Utah Utes tomorrow. You save 20% on gas, and while you're there, grab those coupon books. Yeah. Stocking stuffer, get something for yourself. They're 30% off.
Well, you don't have to be a Ute fan either to get that free gas, but sometimes you got to use the name to get the free gas.
You could say Utah Utes, and then you could follow it up with Go Trojans if you wanted to.
No,
still going to give you the code.
Yeah, we want to be loyal to the state, but my guess is they'll take BYU fans too.
I would agree.
And if you're a BYU fan, why not pretend to be a Utah fan to save 20 cents on a gallon of gas?
By the way, it was tied 36-36, Utah State and Utah Tech. It's now tied 47-47 with about 15 minutes left in that game up at the Spectrum in Logan. That game over on the Fan Sports Network. Houston Johnson over to Taylor in the corner. One dribble back to Houston. 17 on the shot clock for the Mustangs. Eaton off a catch, dribble drive to the middle of the key, and a whistle and a foul. And that is team foul number 6 against Payson.
Well, and you see how they've gotten back into the game. Everything is happening inside the paint. And as a coach, whether it's zone or man defense, you want to keep guys out of the paint. And Payson just hasn't been able to do that.
Inside Jordan Eaton. Missed it. Got it back. And now Sweeten with an offensive rebound, and Sweeten scores it.
You just can't give that many opportunities if you're Payson. If you're Crimson, that's where you might have to hang your hat this year.
Clearly, Jersey Mike sub in order for Jay Sweeten tonight.
Ooh, I think so.
He's got 12. Houston Johnson with a takeaway. Over to Scoop. Scoop, hesitation move, little mid-range floater. Got it.
Looked like a foul. He's got the hands up with the, come on, ref.
Scoop Johnson kind of hung and hit. Lead is 11. Payson wants a timeout. Coach Missel says, let's talk things over. 4:47 to go. And we'll take a quick 30-second timeout and be right back. Challenge at the Cliffs. Right now, Crimson Cliffs looking to close out and get win number 1 in game number 1 of the young season. They're up by 11. We'll be right back.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC.
UFootball.com.
Back here at Crimson Bliss. Kind of a fun storyline if Crimson can close this out. Coach Fairborn, his first ever head coaching game tonight as the new coach, even though he's a longtime assistant in the region here at Crimson. And prior to that, he spent some time over at Pineview, and a new era for him. And trying to get win number 1 tonight.
It's always nice to get it in the first try.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you don't want to go 0-3 or 0-4. Then the pressure starts mounting. And they do have a good preseason schedule, and this would be a quality win against a 5A good Payson Lions team.
And one thing you can always count on from Kent is his shoe game is always dialed in. It's like Jordan Lowe's in the black and blue tonight.
Yeah. Shot won't go from outside by Isaac Wolf. Rebound by Cooper Swayze. No, and now a rebound Houston Johnson. They got numbers. Outlet to Barbin. Barbin cross-court kick. There's Scoop. Blocked from the backside. And here come the Lions. Parker buys. Kicks it to Swaney. Inside and a takeaway by Trevor Taylor. Taylor, the last line of defense there, Ben.
Yeah, and this is where you're a little surprised that Payson looks to be the team that's fatigued.
Taylor scores it at a foul. They gave him the and 1. Taylor, he's got 6 and a chance to get the old-fashioned three-point play from the free throw line.
Although every time something happens, like a foul or a loose ball, he gets up and looks like he's kind of hobbled, limping along.
And the free throw, no good, too strong.
That was a throw, Dev. That was a throw.
Largest lead of the night, though, for the Mustangs. Lead is 13 on the Wilkinson scoreboard, 63-50, with under 4 to play. Spin move. And now, looked like Sweeten had a chance to poke it and run.
Track on that. I'll tell you what's been impressive, though, is the overall team defense from Crimson. I mean, other than some easy threes, they've really contested everything inside the three-point line.
Nets on fire. Update in the Pac-12 tonight. Utah is beating number 4 Arizona 75-64.
A little bit of a, not even a little bit.
They went from 14-4 in 1 week. Arizona playing some good basketball. When they played Utah Tech, beat them by 27, 28.
They've looked good against everybody. I'm surprised by that. And you like to see Utah because that's an in-state team, and you like to see at least, they've had a couple rough years on the basketball court. Obviously, their football team good, but basketball has not been great.
Yep. They've had a lot of guys come and go. And that kind of what led to Coach Kristoviak taking off, and then they hire...
Taking off, huh? I think it was
getting let go.
Being told to take off.
Yeah. Craig Smith, now the coach, coming down from Utah State.
Yeah.
Coach Odom, the Utah State coach, and they've got their hands full. It is 50-50. Utah Tech was 18.5-point underdogs, and they are toe-to-toe with 12 minutes to go at John Judkins' alma mater, Utah State.
Yeah, on the road. That's impressive.
Did you know that John Judkins had the second triple-double in Utah State Aggie history and was the second guy to do it on his birthday? John Judkins had 12, 11, and 10 on his birthday.
Wayne Estes with the first?
No, it was not. It was somebody in the 60s. I don't know. I don't remember the name.
Interesting. Okay.
Lead is 12. Crossover. And the crowd getting excited about some ball handling from Scoop Johnson. He'll kick it out to the corner to Eaton. 16 on the shot clock. Houston Johnson to the elbow. Nothing there. Kick back out to Scoop. Scoop crossover to the left side. Stop. Using that pivot foot, nothing available, so he'll go back to Eaton. Eaton a hard bounce to give it back to Jace. They got a 2 on them. They got to throw it up. and it won't go. It does get the rim, and Trevor Taylor grabs the rebound and misses the left-hand lay-in. But Eaton, another offensive rebound. I think he's got 7 offensive rebounds in the second half, Ben.
Yeah. And that might be the first time all game we've seen the shot clock come into play.
I was thinking the same thing.
The time was winding down. The Crimson player said, 2, what? And cast it up. And the difference of the second half has been offensive rebounding, though.
Yep. And then there's still
and turnovers.
And there's the ball touched last by Parker Buys.
We need to get a sponsor for like a baker, like the turnover of the game.
They would get their money's worth.
Turnover sounds good, actually. Like an apple turnover.
How about Parker Buys, though? 16 in the first half. Crimson has held him to just 5 in the second half.
6.
He's got 21.
6.
21.
Got a free throw in there, too.
Yep.
63-51, 3 minutes left. Not the score I anticipated after the first quarter.
No.
And if so, I thought it would have been Payson that had pulled up to 12.
Well, they hit, was it 6 first quarter threes? And was it 9 at the half?
9 at the half.
So definitely that has changed, because in the second half, Payson has 1 3 ball that has dropped. 1.
And it looks like we've got a little bit of a conflict over here on trying to figure out do they think the possession. It was a possession aerial question.
Well, it was last touched by Payson. But maybe they didn't know if they'd flipped it or not.
Shot clock. It was shot clock because they've wound it back to 30, which is how it'll work in high school.
Yep.
On a rebound offensive, it goes to 30 instead of back to 35.
Shot by Eaton won't go at the other end. Parker Buys. There he goes.
And on cue, as if he'd heard Devin up here talking in the press box, said, "Okay, I'll give you a basket double D if you ask for it."
And a turnover. Little life for the Lions here, Ben. 10-point lead, 63-53, and they get the possession back, and I couldn't see what happened there. Did he travel?
No, it looked like Houston Johnson did a little bit of the carry.
Step back 3, left it well short. Mitchell, airball chance from the Mustang student body. Here comes Scoop, and he's bumped. Cade Jensen gets called for the personal foul.
And now Crimson's in the same boat where they got to be physical and continue to do what they're doing because they've got free trips to the free throw line now.
Pretty safe to say, you make free throws, you should win this game with 2:27 left on the clock and a 10-point lead.
Yep. Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's one of those. We haven't really seen them at the line a whole bunch. Probably 50%.
Scoop got it from the fabulous Freddie's free throw line. Don't forget, Utah Utes. Code word tomorrow, get 20 cents off per gallon of gas. Stop by and fill up.
And a guy we haven't seen a lot from, Still Barbin, back in the game, replaces Jay Sweeten. He walks down Broadway and gives everyone a high five.
Well, Sweeten has went 6 for 6 from the line, and Scoop is now 4 for 4. So those two are making their freebies tonight.
Well, and Jace has probably got 8 or 9 rebounds just in the second half.
Swayze won't go from outside, and a quick grab and a foul goes against the Payson lines. They'll walk it down to shoot at the other end.
And this is what you can't do if you're Payson. You can't cast up a 3 and then foul.
Yep. Because now a 12-point lead could balloon here, and the Mustangs can smell victory.
Sophomores beat Payson. JV beats Payson, and it looks like it's going to be a 3 for 3 sweep.
And again, Crimson was picked 3rd in the media and coaches combined poll in our preseason media day. If you missed any of that, you want to brush up on all the teams. It's still up there on the fansportsnetwork.com.
Yeah.
Go read the story on St. George News.
Had the girls on there for the first time this ever.
And the coaches and the players loved it.
Yeah. Speaking of the girls, we got 2 really great girls basketball players this year.
No question. And there's a 3, and it's hit. Ooh. And a quick timeout. Isaac Wolf, just a second 3 hit in the second half for the Lions. And all of a sudden, the lead's back down to 11. Timeout on the floor. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. Timeout's brought to you by Cache Valley Bank. Not over yet. Payson's going to try to ramp up the pressure, maybe put a little trap in here and see if they can get some more turnovers. You mentioned in the pregame, though, you expected maybe a lot of turnovers. It's early season action, first game of the year for Crimson, but they've overcame some turnovers with a lot of good rebounding.
Well, over 20 turnovers in a high school basketball game. It's just, if this was the middle of the season, late season, I think we'd be disappointed. We'd be frustrated with the product. But right now, first game for one, second game, third game for another. That's kind of what we expected.
A quick Nets on Fire score update from up at the Spectrum. Utah Tech Trailblazers leading the Aggies 55-52 with under 10 minutes to play. Wow. That game is over on the Fan Sports Network, 99.5 or 95.3 in St. George or 93.1 up in Cedar City.
Some pressure there from Payson, like you said, Dev. They were trying to get a quick steal.
Broken nicely, though, by the Mustangs. Lead is 11. Barban finds Johnson. Johnson looking for Scoop, gets it to him. Scoop down the middle. Late pass, and there is Barban cutting to the rim and scores it. Great dump off.
Yeah, great pass. Scoop's really played well in the second half. Is that our Morgan Pest Control defensive play of the game?
Yeah, I like that.
A block by big Houston Johnson?
I would say yes, sir.
No finger wag after that, like Dikembe Mutombo, but
the only thing he could have done different was kept it in bounds. It went out of bounds, and so Payson will retain possession. But I like that.
Devin's hard to please. He's not going to give it to Houston just yet.
I've learned that from John Judkins. John Judkins said the block is for the fans, but 90% of the time the block goes out of bounds and the other team keeps the ball.
Coach Juddy, dropping some sage advice to all you young players.
I've heard him say that many times. It just sticks in my head.
To block it, but keep it in bounds.
Yeah.
That sounds like Bill Walton. Something Bill Walton would say.
And then a Grateful Dead reference right after that.
That's right.
Free throw is good. One more for Isaac Wolf. And he got it.
Oh, he did not get it. It looks like he crossed the line before it went through the cylinder. The ref waves it off and says, I don't think so.
So Wolf has 14, not 15. Take that last free throw away. 1:32 to play on the Wilkinson scoreboard, 69-57. Steal by the Lions.
Full court press, relieves in the steal. And no wonder. Trevor Taylor with the big block, just like Devin said, you're going to block it, keep it in bounds.
And he did. Trevor was listening. But a lane at the other end, a little runner won't go for the Mustangs. Maybe too quick to shoot that. Could have used a little clock. And there's a three by Isaac Wolf, who's starting to heat up a little bit. He's got 17.
Tough shot on the offensive end, leads to a defensive breakdown on that end. And 9 points, minute 5. I think they're going to have to get a steal here. Get a quick bucket, see if they can get this thing to 7 and put the pressure on Crimson. And I think obviously you don't want to foul Scoop Jackson or Jay Sweeten, but interesting.
Full timeout taken by Coach Fairborn. We'll take a 30-second timeout. We'll be right back for the finish. Mustangs lead by 9, 69-60 over Payson.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in Southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in Southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
And we're back. Devin Dixon, Ben Lindquist. Excited to bring you a bunch of games on the Fan Sports Network and family of stations. Streaming a bunch of games on the fansportsnetwork.com. The first of many.
25 this year.
The first of many. We got Desert Hills Ridgeline tomorrow, pregame 3:45-ish. Assuming the tournament stays on schedule. That's the north-south. Desert Hills playing over at Pineview.
I'm also hearing we're going to be picking up some girls' games this year.
Yeah.
I want to call dibs on doing that Snow Canyon Desert Hills game.
Yep. It's interesting because Desert Hills won in 3 overtimes against Ridgeline. They're defending state champs, but Snow Canyon was predicted the preseason favorite in girls basketball. 3 from the corner. That won't go by the Lions, and now rebound and a loose ball foul.
So Payson gets the full court pressure, gets the turnover, gets a wide open 3. You think if that goes in, it's a 6-point game with just under a minute. Crimson gets what they want, which is a missed shot, but then Jordan Eaton goes over the back and sends Payson to the foul line here. Now, Jordan, I'm with you. He looked at the ref and just thought, what else do I have to do?
I don't know. And the free throw good.
And the ref says just a little bit more. So we got a 69-61, Dev. Full court press going to be coming right up out of here. Missed free throw, though.
And rebound by the Mustangs. Houston Johnson will take a couple strides across half court. He does stride out with
he
the dribble.
Ground, doesn't he?
I think it was a 3 steps, and he was across half court, and then he gets clobbered and fouled, and he'll head to the free throw line.
Yep, Cooper Swayze there with the foul. But a show of some sportsmanship as well. He leans down and helps him up.
Under 8 minutes left up at the Spectrum, and Utah Tech leads 60-57. Upset alert going.
I'm really surprised by that one. I thought it might be close. I certainly thought that 18 points was too much of a spread for that game, the way Utah Tech's been playing and what they're capable of. But a lead by 3?
Keep you posted here. And again,
70-61 with 38, Dev. What do you think?
I think that Crimson's going to win this game. Shot won't go, but a rebound and a putback, that's good. They're not going to go down without a fight, though, as Isaac Wolf has 19 now, and a quick timeout by Anthony Mitchell, head coach of the Lions. And the lead is down to 7. We'll keep it right here. Timeout's brought to you by Cache Valley Bank. Appreciate our 3-point sponsor all night long. You first. And, of course, coming up, we'll name the Hearst Ace Hardware Player of the Game. Ace is the place. A variety of products at prices that please. The big store, corner of Boulevard Bluff, St. George, Main Street, Cedar City. And coming up, we'll hand all our awards out in the Johnson Pediatric post-game show. Also want to remind everybody, Gridiron University All-Star Football is back Saturday, December 31st. It's the 4th annual kickoff classic. An 8th grade All-Star game at 10 a.m., Rising Freshman game at noon, Senior Showcase is after that, and it all happens at Dixie High School. Just get your tickets at the gate, and then they've got their college all-star game coming to Crimson Cliffs football field. Martin Luther King All-Star Classic will be January 16th, so mark your calendars, folks.
Okay, all right.
And for our late arriving stream audience or radio audience, we had a dunk of the game. It came early in this one. It was Sean Feltz. So if you want to text dunk, keyword dunk, to 833-644-2423, you get 1 hour free jump time at the House of Jump, the indoor trampoline park. They break the press. Barbin kicks to the corner to Taylor. Back out to Scoop. And I agree with you. I think Scoop's done a really good job running the show tonight. 17.
And Payson, you can see they're just waiting for the right guy to foul. They didn't want to foul Scoop. And yet they had to settle here and go, okay, we got to foul somebody at this point.
Yeah, because they are down to 13 seconds and they're down by 7. And again, like we said, about 2.5 minute mark, Crimson makes the free throws. They should win this game.
Well, and this is why you always worry about getting to the double bonus, especially when it gets late into the game and you want to get a possession back. He gets 2 here no matter what.
Right.
You know, that 1-and-1, there's a little more pressure on the guy shooting the first one.
Barbin has 7, looking for point number 8, and he left it short from the Fabulous Freddy's free throw line. Coupon book on sale through Christmas. Go get your favorite wash, the MVP, the exterior, whatever you choose. They're all 30% off.
Guy.
Well, you get the inside and the out, you know.
Yeah.
The VIP.
I mean, they're giving 20 cents away on gas.
Mention code word Utah Utes tonight or tomorrow at either Southern Utah location.
Okay.
Good only at the Southern Utah locations, not on the Wasatch Front or Vegas, but it's a St. George Fabulous Freddy's promotion. But 2 very convenient locations. Stop by and just give the gas attendant code word Utah Utes. They'll give you 20 cents off at the pump so you can head to the game down the I-15 freeway. 3 with 8 seconds to go, and it's up and it's in. Braxton Shirley hit the 3. Another 3-pointer brought to you by You First Credit Union, but that'll do it. Mustangs are going to win. Final score 72-66. They're running wild here at the Fieldhouse. Overcome a 12-point deficit in the first half. They trailed by 6 at the half. And if you just look at the final score, you'd think they kind of controlled this game, but that necessarily was not the case all night long, but they do end up winning by 6 points. That 3 made it a little bit more respectable on the scoreboard there late in the game, but Mustangs got to feel really good about win number 1 and try number 1.
Especially at home. I mean, that's one of those things that you certainly want to come out and get the season off on the right foot. It did not look like it was going to be a Crimson victory for that first half of basketball. Speaking of victories.
Whoa.
Upset alert. Utah Tech up 67-57 on Utah State.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, Dancel Leader has gotten hot. He just hit a 3 to push the lead up to 10. He is 5 of 6 and has 15 points. Cam Gooden has 20. Noah Gonzalez has 10. We'll keep you posted in the postgame show. We'll probably be around almost to get you the finish. So stick around with us here on 93.1 St. George News Radio. We'll come back after this 60-second timeout. The Johnson Pediatric Dentistry postgame show. Some stats, some awards. Put a bow on this. Try to get you some final scores before we leave the airwaves tonight. Back in a flash again, the final on the Wilkinson scoreboard. It's the Mustangs with a 72-66 win over the Payson Lions. We'll be back.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt aging by 67%. We make your pavement assets last longer, cost less to own, all while achieving higher property values. Visit holbrookasphalt.com to discover more.
House of Jump is Southern Utah's only indoor trampoline park and your only place to jump, dunk, and dodge. Head on over to our house, the House of Jump.
They wondered what would make them stand out from the competition.
I'm Bo Bradshaw, owner of Bo's Auto Parts. I want to watch the game as well, so I'll make this quick. When you come into Bo's Auto Parts, our store mission is simple. Supply our customers with the best auto parts and the best customer service we can provide. Come on by and see what we can deliver.
Welcome back, everybody. Devin Dixon, Ben Lindquist. This is the Johnson Pediatric Dentistry postgame show. See why so many parents choose Johnson Pediatric Dentistry for their kids' dental needs. You got the new patient special. Call over there. You get the cleaning, the exam, the x-rays for one low price. I think it's $79. 656-0511. Ben didn't come easy, but a win is a win against a 5A school and try number 1 on the season. You wonder how you're going to look. You wonder what the rotation will look like. I don't know that all of the questions are answered for Coach Fairborn, but a pretty solid start, and you got the victory.
Well, I think what you saw tonight is that they're going to have to win with their defensive pressure, hustle, and rebounding. It's why they won the game tonight. It wasn't their three-point shooting. It wasn't even their foul shooting. Thank goodness it didn't come down to that, really. I mean, they made a couple, but it was their defensive pressure that really got them this victory. And surprisingly, as hot as Payson was, it seemed to be fatigue that got the best of them in the second half.
Yeah, the legs weren't there on the three-point shots. They only hit 3 threes, including that one right at the buzzer, compared to 9 in the first half. Yep. It looked like they were going to make 20 threes in the game at one point.
And we said it early in the first half. If you're Coach Fairborn, you're sitting in at halftime saying, guys, they're not going to keep making threes at this clip. Let's just button down the hatches and we'll be okay. But speaking of being okay, the fans are going to be okay tonight, Dev.
Yes,
we got the big score. Tell me more. Where do I go?
Big score dessert, over 55 points easily tonight.
Oh.
I think with the shot clock, I think we're going to have a lot of big score desserts. So fans, if you're driving around listening, you're watching, you're going out tonight, until they close tonight at the St. George Yogurtland, it's on the Holbrook Asphalt Big Score Dessert. Just tell them, hey, Crimson Cliffs, I watched the game, I listened to the game, I was at the game. They scored over 55 points. You and everybody with you, ask for it at checkout. 5 ounces free frozen yogurt. You can put all your favorite. I like the plain tart with the cheesecake cubes and a few strawberries.
Yeah, strawberry. Okay,
that's the go-to.
Yeah, I like that.
Got to mix it up once in a while, but
that's a good combo.
And if I got a workout in, I might splurge on some of those cookie dough bites.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
Yeah.
We're getting to that age where those cookie dough bites matter.
Dusty's laughing at us. Am I making you hungry over there?
Well, let's get down to it, Dev. Who do we want to go with tonight? We got the player of the game. We've got the defensive play of the game.
Let's start with the Appliance Wholesalers Plus Playmaker play of the game.
Okay.
I still think it's the dunk. I still think he comes in right off the bench and got the crowd going. And they were down at that point. That seemed to energize them in that second quarter.
Yeah.
Or was it the end of the first quarter, the very end of the first quarter where he got the dunk?
I think it was the start of the second quarter.
He had just checked in for the first time in the game.
Yeah, start of the second quarter.
6'9".
6 minutes left, yep.
Junior Sean Feltz is your Appliance Wholesalers Plus Playmaker play of the game with the dunk. And by the way, if you text dunk to 833-644-2423. They will give you 1 hour free dunk time at the House of Jump. So the dunk of the game goes down also tonight as our Appliance Wholesalers Plus Playmaker Play of the game. As for the player of the game, if I were to name one for Payson, I would have to go with Parker Buys, just because he led all scorers with 22 tonight by my unofficial count. And I thought he played really well. Wolf was right there too. He had 19. That's a nice little 1-2 punch that's going to win them some games when they get into Region 7 play.
Yep. I think what you saw for them was some conditioning issues in the second half, especially when you're shooting threes. Just being a little short or pulling a little left and right. First and second game of the season, coming off of the turkey break. Those are things that you can see, and I think they'll get them figured out throughout the course of the season. Who do you like for Crimson then on that?
Eaton probably had a double-double with 14 points and probably 13 rebounds tonight.
I got him with 12, so I think you're right.
Houston Johnson had 6 points and probably had near 10 rebounds tonight as well.
I think the most consistent player.
Yeah.
Scoop had, some steady hand there in the second half. Didn't do anything too fancy, but just seemed to be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, 10 for Scoop. Jordan Eaton led the Mustangs. Very balanced scoring. He had 14. Still Barber chipped in 7. Jay Sweeten, I think it's pretty easy to make him our Jersey Mike sub of the game with 12 points off the bench. A lot of hustle plays.
I'll support that for sure. But just got to make sure that he gets it Mike's way, because that's the only way to get a Jersey Mike's.
To me, it's either, for the Hearst Days Hardware player of the game, it's either Jordan Eaton, Houston Johnson, or Scoop Johnson.
All right, let's go with Scoop.
I like that.
Senior leadership, steady hand, knocked down his free throws, found guys. I think I've got him down for 6 assists.
Yeah, he was dishing. And then the Morgan defensive play of the game, there was 2 blocks that stood out. The first one went out of bounds.
Yeah.
And then moments later, Trevor Taylor got one that stayed inbounds, and that led to some transition, and they were out and running wild. The Mustangs were running tonight. 72 points scored.
We give it to Houston Johnson. That
was the first
3 blocks on the night.
Yep.
That one was kind of the second half. It was a little bit of the icing on the cake to say this thing's over.
But look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different Mustangs scored tonight.
Yeah.
The only guy that didn't really score a lot that played was Drake Carroll, but I think it was a 9-man rotation tonight.
He had 2. Yeah, I think the thing you're going to see this year from Crimson is team basketball. It's the way that they're going to have to play all year. They don't have an Owen Mackey. They don't have a style of guy like that can go out and drop 34, 36 in a high school basketball game. So they're going to, I think we're going to circle different guys throughout the course of the season for them, because you're going to have guys that can go get 14 to 16 on any given night and not have it be the same guy.
If this is scrolled forward a week or 2 from now, I think Jordan Eaton probably would have had a 22, 24, 26-point performance.
I'll bet he missed 6 or 7 down low.
And you talked about, you said, I want to see the chart on how many points in the paint the Mustangs, because they were slaughtering Payson on the offensive glass.
Yeah. Double-digit offensive rebounds. And I think they're going to – it's crazy because, they're not supersized, but they're not undersized.
Right.
When you think about a team like Desert Hills, they're going to be battling the big guys all year because they don't have the size. Dixie, Snow Canyon has that level of size. Crimson kind of falls right in 3rd spot, frankly, where we've got them predicting the preseason poll. And so they're going to have to make second chance opportunities happen all season long.
Kyle Lemke does pose a problem for a lot of guys, but with Eaton, with Houston Johnson, with Taylor, and then with Phelps, Phoenix McWillis, you have 4 different guys that you could try on him to see which one matches up the best.
Fouls. Yeah, they're going to have to throw some different things at him for sure.
Yeah.
But for your first home game, first game of the season, to come back from being 12-13 down and to win by double digits.
I like the points out of the front court though tonight. And I wasn't sure what the backcourt would look like tonight, and it was better than I thought. Barban handled himself with composure, but not maybe his best shooting night, but that'll come. He's still shaking off the football legs as well. Scoop, I like what he did. That's why we went with him for the award there.
And interesting, we talked about in the pregame, they're going to play 9 or 10 guys, and they end up playing 9, and all 9 of them score.
Yeah.
So for Coach Fairborn, congrats on a great victory. It's a great team win. And I think that's a Crimson team that'll only get better as the season wears on.
No question. No question. We've got a couple of scores from earlier today. Snow Canyon beating Salem Hills. Cedar falls to Skyview 68-52. We have overtime. Actually, in that Snow Canyon game, I just got an update. 55-55 going to overtime. Ooh. So Salem Hills and Snow Canyon, the defending state champs, need a little bonus basketball to settle that one. Yeah. Ridgeline did beat Desert Hills earlier today by 2 with 4 seconds left. Riverhawks get virtually a game winner.
I think that Desert Hills Crimson home and home is going to be interesting because I think they'll have to play really similar styles of basketball. I think you're going to see a lot of physical hustle components to both of those teams. Undersized somewhat for Desert Hills, a little more size for Crimson. But I'm excited. What a way to kick off the season with Devin. We've talked about doing a game together for 20 years.
It's been fun. It's been fun. Hopefully the first of many this year. And that'll put a bow on it. 72-66. Thanks for tuning into the Johnson Pediatric Dentistry post-game show. As the Mustangs were down 12, they stretched the lead to as many as 12. They end up winning by 6 tonight. Thanks to all of our great sponsors. You're going to hear them throughout the season. You get a chance to use their products or services. Do so. Go get the Big Score dessert compliments of Holbrook Asphalt at the St. George Yogurtland. Don't forget to text DUNK. That was Sean Feltz delivering you free jump time at House of Jump. Text 833-644-2423 right now. Keyword DUNK. And you get a free hour jump time at the House of Jump. And then, of course, don't forget to go give the code word Utah Utes at Fabulous Freddy's. You get 20 cents per gallon of gas or diesel at either Southern Utah location tomorrow with the Utes playing the Trojans in the Pac-12 title game. Real quickly, I was kind of buying some time here. There's 1:19 left. Jump over. We're going to sign off. Utah Tech, the Trailblazers, are trying to knock off Utah State on the road tonight. That game over on 99.5 or 95.3. 81-75. They're up 6 with 1:19 to go. Kind of in a similar situation here where the Trailblazers make some free throws. They might be able to pull off this upset. They were 18.5-point underdogs tonight. They got this in-state game. If they can win that, they got Weber State on Saturday, and they're right in the middle of this longest road trip of the season. They have 7 straight road games. And this would be
paycheck games. What I used to call those in college.
This would be a paycheck
games
and a win.
Double pay.
The Aggies are averaging 88 points a game coming in tonight, and they're 5-0. And Utah Tech is up 6 with 1:19 to go.
Yeah, I didn't see that one coming. But you know what? Sometimes Vegas gets it wrong.
Yeah,
that's why they play the game.
We'll keep you posted. We'll have a lot more on the Utah Tech game. All of the high school games tomorrow morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on the Drive. So tune in for more local sports talk. And then tomorrow afternoon, we'll have Desert Hills Ridgeline. That'll be our next live broadcast at 4 o'clock. That game is actually being played in the North-South preseason tournament at Pineview High School. So if you want to get over there and watch it, great. If not, you'll be able to watch it on the fansportsnetwork.com website, region10sports.tv. And, of course, we'll have that one back over on the Fan. But thanks for letting us do some high school hoops for you tonight on 93.1 St. George News Radio. For Ben Lindquist, I'm Devin Dixon. For Dusty Allen, for Paul Ratliff back in studio. You guys have a great night where the Mustangs win it in the season opener 72-66 over Payson. Eaton led the way with 14. Johnson was in double figures with 10. 12 off the bench. Your Jersey Mike sub of the game for Jay Sweeten. And the Mustangs will be back in action tomorrow. They got games tomorrow and Saturday. We won't have any more of the Mustangs broadcast, but check out the schedule if you want to come watch this team. This is going to be an exciting team to watch. Final thoughts?
Yeah, I think that defensively they're going to be in every game. And from a team standpoint, they're going to have to find some creative ways to score and get some points. But overall, for a first game, I give them high marks. Congrats, Coach Fairborn, the first victory.
First coaching victory as head coach.
Looking forward to doing more games, Dev.
Yep, it's going to be fun. For Ben Lindquist, Devin Dixon, 72-66, the final on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard. Crimson wins it. Have a great rest of your Thursday night.